With Cat's Paw, I said that that was probably would pass as the Halloween episode for Star Trek, and thought, well, there's probably a few others. Well, yes, there are, but Cat's Paw definitely. But Wolf in the Fold could qualify as that too. Somewhat of horror, but in a lot of ways, it just can't quite get there. And some of it, it's not one of my favorites. It's just basically sets it up as some sort of murder mystery, but then it goes into evil entities that feed on fear and all that. And ultimately, the big reveal is that this is an explanation for Jack the Ripper. And they're not the only ones. I've recently been watching Doom Patrol, and they pretty much did the same thing. Yeah, I mean, it's Jack the Ripper's a really old story now, but still, it really did happen. And there's always a bit of I'm not sure, and I mean, granted, there's stuff like Hellboy that makes use of the Nazis and all that stuff that really happened, and superheroes fighting Hitler and all of that. So there's always a bit of discomfort for it. Still, some people get some pretty cool stories out of it. And in this, where it's this evil entity that takes possession, I guess, of a body and acts out on its disgusting urges, and obviously feminists would have a problem with that. He targets women because they're more afraid. Yeah, that would be a problem. So the deal is they're basically on shore leave, and they've gone to this rather peaceful world, and basically Kirk, Scotty, head out to watch some strippers. No, yeah, she's a belly dancer. And then Scotty walks her home, I guess, looking to get some action, apparently. And then she turns up dead, and Scotty's holding the murder weapon, and Scotty's the prime suspect. And then again, other women, even the wife of the I guess the governor, in Scotty's the main suspect, and that it just keeps happening and happening. But it turns out it's the investigator, the little bald guy you've seen, and I forget the actor's name, but he's been in just about everything back in those days. And you just wouldn't expect him to be the problem, but no, it's him. And there's even a scene when you realize it in context of the story of where one of the female crewmen beams down. He takes a moment to stare at her, and he just sort of smiles and moves on like it's nothing, but it's a little odd, is it? Well, it's because he's this sick creep and wants to kill women. So they don't realize this, and it takes a while, and they have a trial for Scotty, and it's not looking great for Scotty. I mean, he's in the place each murder, and they go off on this wild theory about, there's some other entity, and it dates all the way back to Jack the Ripper. I mean, it's like, no, this is crazy. This is one of those stupid moments where a judge is, I'll allow it, but you better be going somewhere with this. And, well, of course, it's all true. And they realize that similar murders occurred elsewhere, and it all tracks with this inspector guy who's not from this planet, but he works for them, and they realize, it's him, and he tries to escape. They get in a struggle and a fight, and Kirk not seemingly hits him, and then he drops dead. And they're like, well, I didn't hit him that hard. And then all of a sudden the ship goes crazy because the entity has now taken over the computer and starts terrorizing them because it wants them to be scared. That's what it feeds on, and eventually can do terrible things with their life support systems and whatnot. But eventually the entity gets outfoxed by Spock, who forces the computer that it is now possessing. Who knew it could do that? And to calculate to the to the figure of pi, and without that goes into infinity, so it ruins its chances. So the entity goes back to the little bald guy's body, and they attack him and dope him up because in order to get people to not be afraid so they can't feed off of fear, Dr. McCoy dopes everybody up. So they're all happy and laughing, including McCoy himself. And so the creature's running out of resources here and tries to take a hostage back in the form of, when it gets back to the bald guy's body. And they dope him up. And then, what do you do? Well, they take him to the transporter room and beam him into space. That's done. So, there you go. But the overarching idea, this is, guys, I guess, about as close to sort of demonic possession, maybe, or something like that. Cat's Ball works more as a Halloween show than this one would, but still, it does play on horror elements here, and but it doesn't quite get there, and it doesn't quite work as a murder mystery either. So, yeah, this is not one of the stronger ones of Star Trek, but it does have its moments. It most certainly does, because again, you know, if you like Star Trek, it's because you like the characters and you like the cast and whatnot, and they play up their strengths, and they have to carry a show sometimes when it's not as strong as some of the others. So there you go, Wolf in the Fold. So the sheep's clothing was that innocent-looking little bald man, but he was a monster underneath.
Alright, thank you for watching and listening. Slay. Why not like and subscribe, and check out that link description below. That'll take you to my mini stores and have plenty of goodies for you. You know, hats, mugs, stickers, posters, all that goody stuff. Plus, you can head over to indieplanet.com and pick up a copy of my comic book Night Night. Oh, yeah. Plus, you can also catch my podcast, Mr Nailsin Show, over at RadioMisfits.com. And you can also watch my videos on my channel at BitChute. That's the Mr Nailsin channel on BitChute.com.